Hello, welcome to my home. If you're new here, my name is Karen, and I have been working through a summer deep clean series since I never did get to spring cleaning and just going room by room. But one of the things that I wanted to do today is it is really bugging me, the disorganization in my kitchen. Like some of the stuff works really well and other things aren't working at all. So I really want to go through that. For example, the foods that my husband and I are eating for our health program, we have mostly in our bedroom and in the area that's for coffee. But one of the problems, besides the fact that I'd rather not have it in my bedroom, is even the area where our coffee is. My daughters are teenagers now. They're getting into buying their own coffee mugs, which is fine, but it's kind of edging out my coffee area. So since I can't really do anything about the coffee mugs, I thought if I could get my food out of there. So I just need to generally reorg. Plus we got a new blender, we got a Vitamix, but we haven't gotten rid of the old blender that was really on its literal last leg. I don't think it's even worthy of donation. And I think I might have another appliance. It's a bunch of crumbs under there because we keep the toasters under there. There's just some things in the kitchen. But let me just tell you my story. What I've already done today is I was trying to wash the cat bedding. I got all energetic yesterday. The cat area, I noticed when I did the last basement declutter with my husband that the cat area really needs some cleaning. So I decided I'm just going to throw all the cat beds and the two cat beds and the blankets in the washing machine. What a nightmare that was. It was too much for my washing machine, first of all. So then it kept being like unbalanced and we had to keep spinning and turning it back. It was just kind of a nightmare. And then it really didn't get all that clean because there's just too much like dirt, cat hair. It wasn't a good idea. I should have done a couple things at a time. I don't know. So I ended up already this morning, because we were doing this yesterday, and when I was switching things over, it was such a mess. I had to vacuum out the washing machine and vacuum out the dryer. So I had already dried the cat beds. Then I was drying the cat blankets, but I had to vacuum in between. So thankfully, at least, on the dishes, we had used paper plates last night. So I didn't have to run the dishwasher last night. I could just fill the dishwasher this morning, and then I can run it after lunch. So that's all good. But look at this day. Finally, it's not raining. And look, this poor sad thing. I'm going to see if it perks up, and then I need to like deadhead it. But look at the lawn. Can you see on camera how long everything is? We'll finally get to mow. It has rained so much we couldn't mow the lawn. Enough with the chit chat. It's time for me to get started on my work for the day. And so I decided to go kind of top down, and I wanted to get everything cleared off the top. I am leaving 2 notebooks up there that are family recipes and recipes that we commonly use. I will say the notebook that has recipes we commonly use, at some point I'm going to need to get that decluttered. There's just so many recipes in there that we never use, that we printed off with good intentions, or we used them once and never used them again. So as I was clearing out, I knew that I wanted to bring our food from our health program in here. So this was underneath my bed, and I'm bringing all of that out to the kitchen. I want to see what it is I want to be creating. Originally, I was going to put it up on the top shelf, but then as I'm looking through, I'm realizing I don't really want to reach to the top shelf every time I go for food. So I decided to use this shelf right here. I'm going to need to clear all that out. My idea was I wanted to clean out and set up what I want to be set up in the way I want it set up. And then I'll figure out what to do with all of the things that have just been ousted. I noticed that these canisters were dusty on top, or they would have little remnants of food on them from the pantry falling down on them. So I decided to wipe them up really quickly. I decided it would make more sense to put the things that we use when we're scratch baking, which we don't do very often unless the girls are making like homemade pancakes, which really doesn't happen a lot, and they're working a lot. So I decided to put those on the top shelf, and I also put the cereal up there. It's still super accessible. I like that way better than I thought I would. So the cereal is up here, and then I always put the heavier stuff where I have the braces, because it holds it better, You have to put light stuff on the ends because these will like dip. It's not that overly sturdy. So that works out very well. It leaves this whole bottom for me to put our foods, my husband and I's foods. I just left out my monk fruit because that is, I use that when I drink tea, so it makes more sense that it would be up with the tea. This is the mess that I'm trying to figure out. You know, I have this, but oftentimes, you know, it's over full, which actually I could put these in there now. But when I first shop, you know, things don't fit as perfectly as they do in a TikTok video. For some reason, in my life, things don't fit perfect. Are you like that? I think we all are. So I have all these mugs, and the girls, mostly it's theirs. Some of them probably are dirty, and that's why there's space. So if I could get my stuff out of there, it'll give us some more room, and perhaps I will bring down the teas and bring them to this level. We'll see. Start with my overflow boxes. I even have room to double stack, which is nice. Oops. Ugh. Can they fall out of the box? That's not nice. I am quickly in the zone here. I am just in my happy place when I can get myself involved in a project and everybody's kind of off doing their own thing and I can just completely focus. I absolutely love that feeling. An empty box. This will be for my Goodwill stuff by the door. I am on my way. I won't slow down. Yeah, I am on my way. I won't slow down. I am on my way. I won't slow down. All right, I love this. I could probably even put more of my husband's overstock here. We'll have to see what he prefers. And now I can work on this. So the onions and potatoes will stay there. And then I'm going to have cleaners here. I'm going to take out some of these bags and put them in cars because that's when we use them, is when we go to the grocery store or wherever. Because in Maine, you're supposed to bring your own bags if you can. And then I got birdseed and a pot that we use sometimes when we're having company. So I'm going to keep the pot there. The pot, some of the bags, we got bird food that I'm going to put in a container. And then cleaners, we have cat treats and onions and potatoes. And then I'm hoping what that's going to do is alleviate this mess under here. I'm kind of understanding why I haven't done this before, because once you start one area of your kitchen, you just have to keep going because every spot affects another spot. Can she shut the door? Yep. Yay! For all the bathroom cleaner. I feel like I only need a couple of these in the house, and the rest of these need to go in cars. Actually, I think all of these need to go in cars. I'm very happy with this. I have the cereals, the baking stuff, recipes here, and then another notebook of recipes here. And then what we had before for food is all here. And then I was able to put our food for our health program for my husband and I here. And then down here, onions, room for potatoes in the back. And then cat treats, my cleaners. This is what I would grab too all the time. This is overflow. I think this is going to help me not to overbuy and to use this stuff up. Then over here is the bird seed, and then the pot that I probably will be using when we have guests next week. So that's a bigger pot that we don't use very often, just when we have company. Now under the sink, I can have just things we grab right when we're at the sink. So my vinegar and my dishwasher tabs were fine. I use white vinegar instead of the expensive rinse. And then my extra sponges, I'm going to do garbage bags, small garbage bags, and large garbage bags in this one, and spare sponges. I do keep this in case of a pinch, but I use plastic ones now, so I will keep that. You see I have some grime down there. Large trash bags. One box is small in here because we use it sometimes when we're throwing out nasty food. And then one for the bathroom. This can go with this. That's large. Vinyl gloves. Extra sponges. Oven sponges, and then white erase. So that's good, and maybe these work gloves can go there too. All right. This is gross. Paste, cleaning paste for the sink, an extra Dawn. This I use to water plants and to fill my steamer, so I don't need this one. I can get rid of that. Fertilizer for my plants. Drain cleaner. Let's see. I think we're good. I think maybe I'll move these here. I don't know. Huh. No, never mind. All right, and the spare drain. What a difference. That is a thing of beauty. All right, I just took a lunch break and that felt really good. I needed to rest, although I'm kind of having fun because I feel like I'm really being productive. These were both in the pantry. This one, we don't really use either one, but this one I have a lid for. So sometimes if I have guests and we make iced tea from the powder or we make lemonade, I might use this. I'll keep this one. This one I only ever use to water my plants, and I do have a watering pot, so I don't need this one, and I will declutter this and put it in the box I emptied just a little bit ago. I feel like this is going to be easy. So I'm going to take out everything that's in this shelf and this shelf. These are all mugs, and so I do know that they're all going to be staying. No one wants to get rid of their mugs. This candle is from Christmas. It's balsam scented. I am going to get rid of this. By the time Christmas comes, will I even remember it? Probably not. So, and my daughters do love to give me candles for gifts, so I feel like I can safely get rid of this one, knowing probably another one's going to come down the pike. This I need to ask my husband about. It is a fiber powder, but he uses a different one now, so I think it's going to end up getting decluttered, but I'll check with him first. And then Donut Shop Blend, I'm going to quietly get rid of this. Nobody's drinking it. And I have a daughter who works for Starbucks, and every so often they send them home with a free bag of coffee. So I feel like since this is like cheap, not getting drank, and I don't even know how old it is. Oh, actually it's expired, so that's easy. So getting rid of that. So look, decluttering. Oh, I need my stool. Oh my, I just found a ton of candles. Well, there's some trash. Ashwagandha tea is a great idea because it's so healthy, but it's nasty. Get rid of that. This I'll keep because it goes nicely in my dining room. I'm just going to wipe it out real quick up here. I'm not going back to this shelf. You see that? So we have Dunkin' Midnight, Cafe Verona, notes of dark cocoa and caramelized sugar, and Guatemala Antigua. So, and we do K-Cups. Now we have some loose, I don't know how old these are, I'm going to get rid of them. I'm also getting rid of this, and this loose leaf tea that nobody drinks. Alright, so anything Christmassy is going. Actually, all three of these are Christmassy, and I'm pretty sure this one's lilac. The reason that this one hasn't gotten burned all the way down is I have a really hard time with floral, but it was a gift, so I felt like I needed to burn it. So I would burn it a little bit at a time, and then finally I just kind of put it away when a new one came in. So I'm actually going to be getting rid of all four of these. This one is Stress Relief, and so I might try this one. I have a feeling that this one was hard for me too, but I'm going to light it right now, and that way I'll know if I can tolerate it or not. But 1, 2, 3, 4 are going. This one was also hard for me. It's White Barn. It's patchouli and rosewood. I'm going to get rid of that one too. This goes really well with the lemons, and I remember enjoying the smell from last year. This one's quite good too. It's called Cactus. There we go, Cactus Blossom. Next, I'm going to go through my teas and make sure that none of them are expired. This is brand new, so I know this one's fine. But sometimes, oh yeah, sometimes they get lost in the pile, and we'll buy a new one thinking we're out. Big peppermint drinkers here. Green tea. I'm pretty sure this one's new. Truvia, We don't really use Truvia. There's only a few packets. I'm going to get rid of that because I have this monk fruit chamomile had gotten pushed back. Nope, May 2025. This one's expired. Wild berry, we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of this one. I'm going to put this in the pantry for the girls in case they want it. This is for loose leaf, and I'm not doing loose leaf, so I'm just going to get rid of this. And then these at the bottom, I just have no idea. This is the only one that has expiration and it's expired, so I'm just going to get rid of these that are in the bottom. And this expired. I like to give things a quick wipe. All right, so I'm going to put the ones that we hardly ever drink in first. Then I think what I'm going to do is put the coffees on the top because I can have them move to the front where everybody can see them. And I'm loving that. And I'll put the coffee grinder up there as well. And I'm going to put my sugars over here with my cinnamon spice tea because that's the only time I use my sugar is when I'm drinking my cinnamon tea. And then these go up here where people can see them. I'll put Dunkin' in the middle. Along with the scoops. And we'll put the vanilla right here. This cookbook was a gift, and although it's a beautiful cookbook, it does have some good recipes in it, but we never ever turned to it. It just never took, and I can't eat most of what's in here anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and donate this as well. Next, I want to get under my kitchen island because there's definitely some things under there to get rid of or that shouldn't be where they are. Right off the bat, I know these, I have a box of these in the basement. I am struggling with whether I'm actually going to use these or not in my pantry. Do you guys take everything out of the packaging and put it in plastic? I just don't find that I love it. I mean, I love the look of it, but here's what happens. Let's say I have Teddy Grahams in one of these, right? Then I get new Teddy Grahams. Well, let's say I know we're gonna need, do I wait and keep the box of Teddy Grahams until this is completely empty? Do I dump out the old, put in the new, put the old on top? Because I don't want to have old Teddy Grahams if I just keep putting them on top. That kind of thing. I don't see that my family eats things more or less because they're in these. So, and where my family is getting smaller by the day, I just don't know if these are a good idea, but they were an investment. So I want to make sure I really decide before I get rid of them. So let me know in the comments, does your pantry look like these things all lined up? Or do you, and then you might get something and it doesn't fit, so then what do you do with the extra? You see, all kinds of issues I don't have when I just put it in their packaging and all. Now, I would say the only exception is if I had ants or something getting in the food. By the way, you're hearing my dishwasher in the background. So I'm going to put these in the basement in that box. This is my slow cooker. I use it constantly, which leads me to this. This beast. This I need to be replaced, but I haven't, sorry, we haven't replaced it and we're still using it, so I guess I will keep it till we stop using it. Oh, before I get to this, these, when we had our counters done, they gave us this as a gift, but it has no purpose. It's literally pieces of the countertop. They said I could use it as a cutting board, but it'll dull my knives and it will scratch over time. It's not heat safe. There's literally no purpose to it. So I am going to get rid of both of them. This is staying for now until I get a new one, and I would love to get a smaller one. This beast, I was really looking for a like mega large crock pot for when like family comes and all this, and I misread the label at Walmart, thought this was a crock pot. I get it home, it's a roaster. Not only is it a roaster, but the outside heats up. So if you have it on 400 degrees, I swear the outside metal is 400 degrees. So even when my family's visiting, I would never have this going on a countertop because I have young grandchildren. I would be afraid they would burn themselves. So we have used it like twice, and we have kept it. I have a double oven. I don't need it. So I talked to my husband, and he's sad about it because it was something that we bought, but I reminded him it honestly doesn't cost any, it didn't cost any more than taking our entire family out to supper once. So somebody is going to be blessed by it at Goodwill, and I'm going to be blessed that it's not taking up half of this island. And stubbornly, I was like, I'm not putting that in the basement. I'm trying not to use my basement as a graveyard for things that are dead, buried, never used, but we don't want to get rid of, right? I'm trying to change. So long story longer, we're getting rid of this. This is for if any of my daughters take a lunch to work, which no one has been doing, but maybe I'll remind them and see if they want to keep it. This is mine, and I plan to use it going to the beach. I don't need it to be under the island, but at the same time, I don't really know where else to put it. And then I have my baking stones, which I keep under my island because sliding them in and out where I keep my cookie sheets ruined my last cabinets, so I don't want to do that again. So I keep those in here for when we do pizza. So this is pretty easy now. It's pretty manageable for what's under there, and I also want to put these under there. Now this I'm tempted to get rid of because it's really for if you bake, which we don't, although we do once in a while. I guess I'll keep it for a while. It's also good if you like bring cupcakes to church or cookies to church, and I only have one of them. I just talked myself into keeping it. Okay, unless I find a better place for it, I guess I'll keep it. But I thought I would put all of this under the island. All right, let's see how it all fits. Okay, I guess I didn't have my camera turned on. So right now I have my pizza pans here, my crock pot here. I realized it would be perfect if I had a second shelf here. So maybe at some point I'll be successful in convincing someone to do that for me. Actually, that's not bad. All right. And then spare paper towels. I might like to find a place for my paper towels at another date, but for now, they're fine right there. That is so much better. Last spot for today, right here. Again, we have bought some new things. There's crumbs from my toaster. I haven't gotten rid of the old thing when we got the new thing, so I need to pull the stuff out. I'm not pulling that out because it's super heavy. But the other things I really do need to pull out. Actually, I'll leave this, but the rest of it will come out. Hey, since you're here, come here. I need the
old blender,
whatever's behind it, not the pizza thing, and all the stuff on the bottom shelf. You can see the crumbs from my toasters, because I have one toaster for regular bread here, and then this toaster is for gluten-free bread. We just don't use them enough to keep them on a countertop, but we do still use them. So I keep them, But I mean, if it was up to my husband and I, we don't eat bread anymore. But the kids once in a while will have a piece of toast, so we do keep them. But I need to put them in a box or something and then put them under there because the crumbs are a problem. This I need to get rid of because now we have this, because this was dying, so this is going to go. I'm hoping it'll fit in this, which I think it will. Just barely. Okay, well, close enough. I don't know. It really doesn't. Close enough to get it to the dump. Then this we got, and it worked for a little while. We got it on Amazon, and then it just stopped working. And then it would work sometimes and not others. It was not good. There's the brand, in case you want to know. Then we replaced it with this one, and they all come with steamer baskets now, which is nice. If you want to steam. That's not what we use it for, but I liked that it had like white rice, oatmeal, quinoa, brown rice. So you just push the button for whatever you're making, and it does the timing on its own. So we have this one. But we didn't get rid of this one. And then this is to put produce in the fridge. I have a couple up here, and there's a couple behind that cup. So I think that's plenty. I'm going to get rid of this one. For one thing, it doesn't fit in the cabinet that they go in. And so then I never think to look under here for a spare one. So it's just going to go. This is one of my pantry containers. Probably the lid is downstairs. And then this, again, is also a pantry container, so I'll bring those down to the basement to that box you saw earlier. This I used a lot for my shakes when I first started my health program, but I haven't been using it a lot anymore. I'm going to go ahead and declutter this as well. Got a different friend with me today. Huh, Woozy? Actually, maybe I could put it in one. Yeah, that works. I'll just use one. It'll catch the crumbs all the same. That is expired. Wow, 2021. That's pretty bad. Our balsamic vinegar expired in 2021. Oops. This will go up with the coffee stuff. I hate cords. They drive me crazy, so I should do something to tie that up. But this is so much better to me. The teapot I'm going to bring down, because I can now, and put it right here. There we go. There. That looks way better. Things that we use all the time are accessible. Here is all the stuff that is leaving my kitchen. It feels really good. I had no idea. And I just had one shirt there where the neck is too big that I'm getting rid of. And then that trash bag is pretty much full of stuff that I got out of the kitchen as well, like that nasty expired balsamic. I am celebrating with a congratulations to Karen. Dr. Pepper Zero. I started at 8:30. It's 1 o'clock. Now, I did take a break where I eat every 2 to 3 hours. I had like a 15-minute break at one point to eat, and then I had another like half an hour break for lunch. But I've just been steady at it. So I know some of you who know my health journey will be saying, wow, can you believe what you did? And I can't believe, I mean, honestly, I used to do the 20 to 30 minutes because that's all I could do. And if that's all you can do, that is all you should do. And just peck away at it over a week's time and you'll get it all done. But boy, am I relieved. So I hope that was inspiring to you to get decluttering. I didn't think I had anything to declutter in the kitchen. Seriously, I'm very shocked. But once you get in, you remember, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Especially where like you buy a rice cooker because the other one's broken, but you don't get rid of the broken one. You buy a blender because the other one's broken. You don't get rid of the broken one. So now I'll have my husband kind of separate with me what's going to the dump, what is going to Goodwill. And we still have the stuff that's supposed to go to the dump from our last declutter, him and I, in the basement. So I know that we'll be able to just do all of that at the same time. So the dump will be the next trip, and then Goodwill after that. And I need to decide what I am decluttering next in the basement. But for now, remember, as always, I'm here for you. I love you. God loves you. And I can't wait to see you next time.